Yo. Had to come out for some fresh air. You see, I had fresh cut, but yeah. Next video. This one. Education is the key. Yo, throughout my life, that's, many adults, many people, everywhere you go, you hear it. Education is the key. Education is the key. Education is the key. What do they mean by that? Educate yourself, you create better opportunities for yourself. The more you know, the more you can do. The bigger your brain, the bigger the more you can produce. Facts. But now, the thing is too, the want for that education is kind of hectic, crazy, serious. It is lacking mainly in the black community. There's a reason for that, and it's strategical and it is subconscious. People don't understand it. I see it now. The education is the key to fixing this world. What education? True education, right education, correct education, African education. See, we need to understand where we come from. See, that is serious. See, I pay attention to the American school structure, right? The structure here in school, the first thing you learn about yourself as a black person has to do with slavery or civil rights. Struggle and oppression. Struggle and oppression. That's what you learn about yourself. Struggle and oppression. Now, to a young mind, that's a subconscious message. They're learning to enjoy and live in their oppression and lack and poverty. Because in school, historically, that's what they did. Now, you educate these youth. You teach these youth. You know what you have to teach them. See, now we have to educate. As adults, we would have to educate ourselves. But those of us who can't teach these youth, educate these youth. Let them know about the great African kings and queens that were there before European history. See, we need to search and we need to dig for that, because now you got to understand. See, you got to see. Now, people will say, "Oh, that don't mean shit. Fuck that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it really does on a subconscious level, because now you got to acknowledge. You got to look at every fucking person in history, right? Every type of person. They can look back. You had your Mayan civilization, they had their kings and this and this. You could say that's Spanish, right? You had your European. We learned that. What the fuck? Greece, fucking Rome, fucking, all of that shit. We learned that. That's primary. You understand? Then you look. You had your the Persian Empire. That's your Arabs and this and that. You had everybody had an empire that you hear about in history class, except the Africans. You don't hear about that empire. But see, you got to do your history on that. You got to acknowledge that. You got to look at that. Who were the Romans fighting to take land from before the other Romans got it? Who were the Grecians fighting for before the Grecians got it? Who were the Persians fighting before? Where did the pyramids come from before everybody else? Where did the Sphinx come before? See, these were remains that our ancestors left for us to not forget our history, to be able to now, someday, which is now, look back and say, yo, hold up. We come from greatness. We are greatness. We need to behave as greatness. If we don't know this, where's the examples? We have none. So when you start teaching your kids about the great King Solomon, about Mansa Musa, about these great kings of Africa, and then you start looking at the different places and the various lands that we occupied first, primarily India, China, and all these places, come on now. Indigenous people are us, and we are indigenous. Anyone with melanin, we are the same. You see, we're so programmed here that you will get Americans. See, that people ask me, yo, where you from, where you from, where you from, all the fucking time because of my mindset. Where you from, where you from? Well, I was born in America. That's my only answer I give them. That's the only answer I have. You understand? Because history makes everything. But I know mine. I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, if we were to instill and give these kids this knowledge, right? Now we're subconsciously reprogramming them to understand and acknowledge their greatness within themselves. Once they acknowledge this greatness within themselves, they will desire for more. They will want more. They will not want to live in these situations. They wouldn't want to step outside their house and see fucking garbage all over the floor. Because they know they would have it inside of themselves. They would know they deserve more than that. And they can create more than that, and they should be more than that, and they would be more than that. But we need a foundation to grow from, and our foundation cannot be slavery, and it cannot be civil rights. It has to be what it was, the truth. The greatest kingdom to ever exist was the United Monarchy of Israel. And that was full of Hebrew. Who is Hebrew? Hebrew are we, black, brown people. We are the original Hebrews of the Bible. We are the ones. We are the chosen. We are the originators. We are the ones who brought all of this to life. Everything that we see now, we had before. If you look at the hieroglyphs, and you actually study the hieroglyphs, you could see cell phones, you could see different things. Pyramids were towers, that's energy from the sun to generate, to illuminate. They stripped the gold plating off of it. They stripped the gold plating, they stripped it. See, there's things that we don't know from history. They hide. When we dig deep enough, we find out. Yo, I love you, man. Moments of clarity.